Right, hello everybody and welcome to our little staying at home interview session. My name is Michael Wilkins from MERIDA and I will get together with some of our MERIDA athletes to find out how they're spending their days and weeks during the coronavirus lockdown. Like so many other meetings these days, we are using video conferencing to stay in touch and to give you a few ideas of how they're tackling the crisis and what suggestions I might have for you to stay healthy and fit. So, as you can see already here on my side, the first person we're going to be talking to in our little session is all-around mountain bike legend, I should say, world champion, former world champion, and world cup winner José Hermida. Hello, José. I hope you're doing well.
Hello. Yes, I'm doing well. Some hope just some weights, coffee.
And we obviously caught up a little bit before we got into this meeting, and obviously I have a little bit of an idea what's going on in your area, but you live in the northeast of Spain, and I believe you are obviously on complete lockdown. So how do you spend your days training and staying fit and healthy?
Well, as you say, right now in Spain, it's a quite a critical situation for everybody, for the whole society. And first of all, I should say thanks to all the organizations that they are working hard to get the society back, like hospitals, doctors, nurses, police. Everybody is working shoulder to shoulder, and I should say thanks for the first time. And then for the rest, as everybody knows, in Spain we have a big quarantine, a big confination. Confined at home. So big rules, really strict rules. And well, everybody's realizing also that there is a life in home, and everybody's making active their brains to entertain the journey beside working, because there is a lot of work now. In those days, we realize that there is a lot of work that we can do from home. Yeah. But of course, the most important thing also in this situation is to keep the brain fresh and active. And that, luckily for us, goes also through the sport. So as you say, for me, a person like me that I bite my nails, it's a hard time, because I always like to bike outside and get the fresh air. But I'm doing a different thing, different activities right now. First in the morning, I try to make a light session of gym at home. Nothing special, just 30, 40 minutes, moving a little bit the body, especially for wake up the body. Yeah. And some core, some light exercises, not necessary to make a big gym, especially because not everybody has a gym at home. So with a small weight or some bottles from water, some cans can be helpful. Yeah. So I do a light hour, more or less an hour in the morning, and then in the afternoon I try to do a second session, and then the rest of the day, doing a lot of activities at home, staying with the family, because a lot of times we complain that we work a lot out of home, and then suddenly now that we are home, so finally we can stay with family. So that's what I'm doing. And when you are home, there is also a lot of activities to do, like painting or doing some work, so making the frames in the wall like this, or it's occupating a little bit the journey. Of course, for everybody is the same, and absolutely also a lot of attention in the media and in the social media, just to keep updated for all the news and also for the cycling community.
Yeah, that's very true. But as you already said, staying healthy and fit is quite important, I think, for your mental well-being, and perhaps also obviously for your physical well-being. You obviously, as you said, you're doing some gym sessions. I'm sure you're spending a lot of time on your home trainer. I can imagine a lot of our MERIDA fans might have also some equipment at home. But if you don't, and you probably maybe have to go back to doing very basic activity, have you got any suggestions what people could do? Just maybe perhaps just a couple?
Yes. The suggestions, they are always. First of all, I want to say that even in this situation that we have plenty of time to be at home, and especially I really recommend all our viewers and fans, and not even necessarily fans from Merida, all wide fans and cyclists. Please follow the information, follow the rules, the directions of our governments and our scientifics or specialists, because this is more than stay at home because it's forbidden. This is for the health of the society. So as soon we go through, as soon we will get back to the bikes. So please follow all the recommendations. And then, of course, when you follow the recommendation, you have plenty of time to stay at home. And what I recommend is for sure also to make activity during the day, but light activity. Don't get stressed now that I get crazy doing activities. Of course, I don't recommend at all, and it's forbidden to go outside for sure. So don't go outside to the garden and try to make backflips, because in the morning you were watching the videos from Freeride. So don't do it in the garden, even if it's your garden and you are allowed to go there, because the hospitals right now, they don't need a monkey with a broken collarbone in the hospital. Now the doctors, they have enough work with this virus than get a guy with a collarbone. And if you do activities at home, also do it with a little bit brain, a little bit with a coherence. So don't try to push to the limits. When normally you don't do activities, do it slightly, relax, take your time. It's gonna be 2 weeks. So you have time to improve. You don't need to do 2,000 abdominals the first day. You can do it more relaxed. For sure, after the quarantine, you will be stronger. But I fully recommend to do a nice warm-up, just like jumping and moving the hands. So in the next days, I'm gonna post in my social media and also in the Merida media. I will post a small video with just for a good warm-up, just 4 exercises for abdominals, legs and upper body, easy, and we will have to repeat 4 times. Just easy. It's gonna be a training of 45 minutes, 1 hour time. Not gonna take the whole morning in our houses, but it's gonna be good for us to keep us active, and at the same time to train a little bit the upper body, the abdominals, and the legs. So I'm gonna post it in our social media, my social media, and also the Merida media. So everybody will get a small idea, a rough idea about how to do something at home without big equipment, or actually with no equipment. You will see that there are exercises that just with the body. And then for those that they have turbo trainers at home, or rollers, or online cycling platform, I fully recommend to if you have an online platform, just join some of the groups the first days, and with 1 hour of indoor cycling, it's enough. It's really enough, because everybody has to know that indoor cycling, it's, let's say that we can multiply by 2 the feeling and the activity when you do a normal bike, because there is no downhills, there is no fresh air. So special recommendations for those that they do indoor cycling: a ventilator, just fresh air constantly, because the dehydration doing rollers and turbo trainers is much higher than normal cycling. In outside for sure. And then with 1 hour, with a small light warm-up that can be 10 minutes, then some intervals or some online competition, some acceleration enough. Just even you don't need to make strict intervals with 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Just get your favorite music Spotify list, and just follow the rhythm of the music. That's enough. I mean, there is no goals ahead for us. There is no World Cup. There is no World Championship. There is no events. So why to do a serious interval? Just follow your soul, follow your music, and that will be enough to keep us active for the next days and quarantine.
Yeah. I mean, you said you're going to do some videos. I mean, Tony, your team partner on the WES, we're going to talk about in a minute. He's done already a couple of those, and they have been really well received. So I think we're looking forward to getting some from you, and obviously we're certainly going to share them on the MERIDA Facebook and Instagram page. But talking...
Tony is more about to make challenges for everybody.
Yes,
you know, I'm gonna post kind of 1 hour training, one session, and Tony is gonna work more in the skills, the challenges. You know, like jumping with one wheel or going up and down. How much you can jump with bike. So if you wanna follow technical tricks, follow Tony.
Yeah. Oh no, and I'm only saying this because we've seen some of them already, but he is always really out of breath at the end of his exercises, so he must be training as well as just for skills, but I know exactly what you mean. But as we talking about something that is not perhaps about, you know, training and the coronavirus, something more perhaps which we hopefully can look forward to again when all this is hopefully over. We're obviously going to go out again and hit the trails and hit the lanes, and obviously you had the chance before we went into this current stage of the coronavirus crisis that you went to the first round of the WES, the World E-Bike Series in Monaco, which I guess was your first sort of big proper e-bike racing event in the world on that level. How did you get on? What was it like?
Well, actually, yeah, it was my first really international race, and actually was a World Cup.
Yeah.
So after 20 years doing traditional World Cups, now we can say that there is a e-bike World Cup, and yeah, the experience was pretty interesting. I felt like a junior. I felt like a junior because I went to a different dimension. Even as you know, in the last 3 years, I got involved in a lot of e-bike events, because also it's e-bike is getting really big now.
Yeah.
Not only for all people. No. This is proper biking. This is proper mountain biking. Yeah. And then I got addicted also for the e-bikes, for our bikes, of course, the 160 model and A160 and the A140. And then, as you mentioned, I took part in the first World Cup of this year, Monaco. Unfortunately, due to the situation, the world situation, the next World Cups, they are delayed or canceled at the moment. We don't know. But the experience to take part in the first one was absolutely fantastic. I took part. Tony Ferreiro took part in the enduro discipline, and I took part in the cross country discipline. That actually, the name it says itself, is a cross country. It's 1 hour, a little bit shorter than a normal cross country with normal bikes. It's 1 hour, 1 hour time. Yeah. The downhills, they are really downhills.
Yeah.
I mean, it's according to the bikes we are using, and the uphills, they are really according to the e-bikes. So the uphills, they are really steep. The downhills, they are really technical and super not dangerous but technical. So that's why I choose I choose a e-bike, not a traditional cross-country e-bike. I choose the 140 model we have. That it's a midway between a cross-country and an enduro 160, and it was the perfect choice because I had enough travel on the fork, enough suspension to face the downhills, and also to go uphill in the uphill and get the maximum performance in the uphill. And well, I was pretty surprised because even if we use the e-bike or the e-engine, so most of the time the speed was over 25. So it was really tough. It was really tough because the last 20 years I was used to pedal hard, but with a bike of 9 kilos.
Yes.
And now with the e-bike that it's a 21, 22 hour bike, it's 22 exactly. It was tough. It was tough to go over 25 kilos and moving 22 kilos by yourself. That was really tough. I didn't expect. And I knew it before. So this winter, and before the winter, I had a little bit training sessions for the upper body, because using the e-bike, riding the e-bike, you really feel the upper body, that you spend a lot of energy, not like in the normal bike. Yep. And I try to get as maximum training as possible, and I end up with a top 10. That was not pretty bad for my first experience. And well, a lot to improve. Now I can do it at home, more or less. Yeah. And looking for the next event as soon they announce the new locations, the new cities, or if we will do it or not. So I'm looking to take part on it. Even I had in my schedule to take part at the World Championships in Albstadt, at the e-bike World Championships. Yeah. But unfortunately, this week there is a lot of cancellations. There is a lot of delays in the events or postponed events. So I'm looking for the new date, and also for the new events, e-bike events for sure.
But you're certainly going to be back when the next event is going to be announced. You're going to return to the WES.
Yes, of course.
Fantastic. And for the people who actually haven't seen this, we have done a very nice little video of José Antonio going to the WES, which is on our social media channels. So in case you're interested to get a little bit better idea what the racing is all about, and see Tony and José in action, just pop onto the Facebook channel or Instagram channel and see what it's all about. So I think we probably should cut it short, because otherwise everybody's going to shut off. But I want to pick up something again you said earlier, José, which I think is really important. You mentioned that, or gave people the advice, and I would like to repeat that. Really, we really strongly advise people to listen to what your government is telling you with regards to staying at home, and make sure you stick to it. I think we all this together. We can shorten the life expectancy of this virus, hopefully, by limiting ourselves to any exposure, by not affecting people around us, by not getting affected. And hopefully the government guidelines should be a really good idea of what you should follow to do exactly that. If you're allowed to ride your bike, for example, I'm based in the UK, obviously in Spain, as José mentioned earlier, is already complete lockdown. In the UK, you're still allowed to ride your bike in theory. If you are doing this, just make sure you're careful, because it's no point. This is not the time to go for that extra double, to go for your backflip, or even hit your favorite trail really hard. The only thing that can happen that you hurt yourself, and people in the hospital who are trying to keep a lid on this as much as possible, they don't want the silly one with a broken collarbone turning up. So in that case, I just exactly want to repeat what José already said. And we're coming to the end of our little session here, and hopefully it wasn't too bad. It's the first one we've done like this. And José and I were saying earlier, we're probably going to do more of this sort of style, because it's easy to communicate each other in a face-to-face way. And maybe you guys find this interesting, what story he has to tell, perhaps. The next person on our little list is the Grand Dame of mountain biking, Rita Dale Fletcher, which I'm going to get together with in her living room and in my dining room in the next few days, and ask her a few questions, how she's getting on, and see what she has to tell us. So if you have any questions you would like to ask her, by all means, pop them in the comments box below, and we'll certainly try to include those. So at this point, there's nothing else for me to say. That thank you very much for your time, José. It was really nice to catch up. We normally do this at events somewhere in the far corners of the world, but now we're doing it like this. It's lovely to see you. All the best for your family. I know for everybody out there, ride safe, stay healthy, and we hope we see you all at an event on the trail at some point in the future. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Stay at home, and this is going to be positive for our society, for sure. Make the effort the next 2 weeks, and we will come out much stronger than before. Thank you. We'll see you soon. Ciao.
Bye-bye.